For it, and we are live. What is going on, guys? Brian here from SeacoastBeverageLab.com, and this is the Seacoast Beverage Lab podcast for November 2nd, 2015. Again, we're back on Mondays. Get used to it if you're downloading this and you want to watch us live. We are now airing live with no edits. We don't do that at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, Mondays. So put down Monday Night Raw. Just DVR it. It's 3 hours. You get right by that. And then
the beginning is bullshit.
Yep. I mean, from what I saw the last 15 minutes, it's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins main event at Survivor Series in 2 weeks. But that's not what we're here to talk about. But we could talk about that for.
Yeah, but remember when it was like in old school where there would just be like the first couple matches would just be some like new guy versus a scrub.
Yeah, and now it's always the first half hour of that dang show is the person from last week walking down and complaining how they lost, and then the Triple H comes out and says, "What's up?" But yeah, so. Welcome to the Seacoast Wrestling Podcast. All of a sudden here. But yeah, so I'm Brian. So yeah, we're doing big things here. We have another great podcast. Carla is out enjoying Portland Beer Week, so we'll be getting that recap from her next week for sure. I am drinking a Steal This Can IPA from the great people down in Woburn of Lord Hobo. So
where'd you pick it up?
Picked it up at 7-Eleven in Kittery, Maine. So
the reason why I was asking because I actually saw that in Portland at a bottle shop while I was there. Kind of surprised to see it.
It was cool, yeah. So I walked in, I got tipped off from a friend of mine that it was in 7-Eleven, and there must have been 10 cases of each. 10 cases of Boom Sauce, 10 cases of Steal This Can. And then I went from 7-Eleven, as I usually do, day or night, go down to Carl's for a sandwich, and at Carl's Meat Market in Kittery, Maine, they also had 10 cases of each. So a nice little sprinkling of this great beer close by. But for those that are local and watch or listen to the show and don't know that 7-Eleven is one of the best places to get beer in the area, get there. It's a great mix of things you definitely can't get in New Hampshire, and even things that Maine likes to send down closer to southern Maine. Excellent stuff. And I think Ben, you were the one that spoiler alert, Ben's on the show. Ben, you were the one that told me about 7-Eleven in the first place. So you win.
Yeah, I remember there was at one point where we accidentally gained into the system at 7-Eleven because you heard from JT at Smutty Nose that something was going to be at 7-Eleven.
Oh, it was KBS. KBS.
Oh, it was KBS. Yeah, it was KBS at 7-Eleven. Yep. They hadn't even released it yet, but I walked in, and there was just a guy, just a young kid that worked there, and I was like, "Oh, do you guys have KBS?" And he was like, "Oh, are you from Smutty Nose?" And I was just like, "Yes."
Yeah.
and he gave me, and then I bumped into Jason, the proprietor, as I was walking out, and he was just kind of like, okay.
What was cool about when I went on, I went Friday. What was cool is the woman that works at 7-Eleven was her Halloween costume was Jason. So she had a plaid shirt, and not Jason Voorhees, Jason, the guy that used to work at Smutty Nose. She had a plaid shirt on, she had a full mustache, and she had a glass of a Smutty Nose glass that had like juice or something in it, but it was perfect. It was awesome. But yeah, shout outs to them. The beer's good.
I was actually hoping that she was really Jason, and then someone else was Freddy, and I could have had remade Jason versus Freddy.
What would have been awesome though is if she had a Jason mask with a mustache with still plaid Smutty Nose logo stuff on. She was still Jason regardless, but you just had to figure out both. Let's end that. But Ben, what is up? Ben Watts is back on the show. What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here at BM Watts on Twitter. Follow me. I post awesome stuff. You're not going to believe it.
Yep.
I am drinking a deconstructed bourbon barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout, and it's delicious.
Hold it up.
It's deconstructed in the sense that it's just bourbon.
Oh! Sweet ice cube. What?
I don't have any beer in the house.
That's awesome.
Bottoms up.
That's awesome. How did you make that ice cube? Do you have like a mold or something?
Yes, a silicone mold. I got it at the kitchen.
Kittery 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Wow, that's cool.
I got it at the kitchen store in Newington, which is like somehow a black hole for all of my money. I go in there to buy like Bloody Mary mix, and I end up buying silicone ice cube trays and
the store next to Best Buy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. That is a black hole. And they also have a New Hampshire beer book still in store.
Sure.
In store now. That's cool. And what kind of whiskey or bourbon are we talking about here?
It is called
Under My Desk Whiskey.
I didn't want to walk up and downstairs.
When the kid gets a little deep.
No, this is how we put him to bed. It's called Eagle Rare.
Nice.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Eagle Rare.
Awesome. Sweet. So Sean, of course, is here. You've heard him. What's up, Sean?
Hello, I'm Sean Jansen from twobeerguys.com. I am currently enjoying a session IPA from Marsh Island Brewing. You read that?
Where are they out of?
So Marsh Island is right in the Orono area of Maine. And I will point this out, Brian. I am drinking it in my Bottle Logic brewery glass from BBC San Diego.
Oh, nice.
Well, although that Bottle Logic was located in the LA area. Not LA, Anaheim area.
La La Land. Oh, yeah. Sweet. Yeah, and beer's good. So you picked it up in Portland during your travels?
I picked it up in Portland. I was there a little bit early, so I stopped into RSVP.
Sweet.
It was on my route.
God, RSVP, and it's not a bash towards RSVP, but there's craft beer cellar, there's beer cellar, there's beer cellar, because beer cellar is super, super good.
So the time I drove by, beer cellar was closed, and I was just like, I'm just going to drive up towards the Allagash area just to kind of check it out and see if any breweries are open. Which, here's a surprise. I mean, Portland Beer Week started unofficially Saturday night, officially on Sunday.
Yeah.
And in the area that they call Industrial Way, or they also call it the Industrial Park, so they refer to it as the Park.
Yep.
None of the breweries were open at noon on a Sunday for tours or for tasting or for anything. Zippo.
That's so true.
Beer Week.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, because even when Ben and I went up on a Saturday, or a Friday, it was noon, which is fine. But it's like you can barely get enough in because noon to midnight is such a small window when you're trying to go to a lot of breweries. But
I did happen to pull in, and I saw some folks over at they were brewing Epiphany at Foundation. So I got to sneak in and smell a little bit of that. But,
hey, want to come and smell something, kid?
But they were, I mean, to their benefit, they were hosting a big event in the park area. Because I was talking to them, it's like, I saw that there was a beer dinner thing in the park, and I was like, it's kind of a cold night to be out in a park. He's like, no, the park's here. And it was kind of like a beer dinner that went from each of the different spots there into Allagash, and that there was a different course and pairing of food and beer at each spot.
I noticed that because I saw Bissell Brothers post that they had people. It was like a pop-up thing that like dinner in the with the tanks and stuff. That looked pretty wild.
Yeah, the lobster company there.
Jeez, that's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. But I didn't go to that.
Cool. Yeah. So well, I mean, we may as well get into it. We don't have much. There's not much news. No one's buying any other company, or there's no lawsuits, pending right now. So
you sure about that one?
Well, I don't, depends
because Schmaltz Brewing has agreed to partner with Craft and Barrel LLC in Oklahoma.
I mean, Oklahoma is one of our biggest demographics. Might as well get into it.
Yeah, it's a huge demographic. No, we can get to that. We can get to that later. But I want
we really target the 50 to 75 audience in Oklahoma. So that's.
Well, Schmaltz is out of New York, so that is a little bit closer.
Right.
That's what caught my eye more so.
Schmaltz is coming up. I mean, Amber does the yearly write-up of Schmaltz.
For the Jubilation Pack.
Yes,
I had that. I had their 18th anniversary Jubilation.
That'll get you.
Yeah.
I would say out of that pack in general, whatever religion you are. It is a very fun time to have a beer every day and light a candle and have it burn out on the beer and just enjoy that and make your own beer menorah. It's kind of it does sound a little bit gimmicky, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a good time to reflect on on just reflecting and having a good beer.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about it because Carla's there. She was gonna get in. She was gonna try to post up somewhere. Like I mean, even a couple weeks ago, she was over at Thirsty Pig, but I imagine tonight she's probably at Monday Night Raw,
At Oxbow.
at Oxbow, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So she's probably there, which it's cool. But what'd you go up there for yesterday?
I went up to go check out the freshman orientation. I know that you had went to it last year, and I had missed out on it. I didn't really know that it was happening on that day, and I was like, I'm not gonna miss out on this year. So what freshman orientation is, it is a chance to try a beer from every new brewery in the state from the current year. So this was Maine Brewers Guild welcoming the class of 2015. The breweries included Blank Canvas Brewery out of Brewer, Maine, Lubec Brewing out of Lubec, Maine, which is like you're gonna have to go like Route 1 all the way out to like the right edge coast of the state.
Jeez.
Marsh Island in Orono, Maine. Also in Orono was Orono Brewing. There was Square Tail Brewing out of Amherst, Maine, and there was supposed to be one more, which was Theory Brewing out of Wells, Maine, but they were unable to make it. I don't think their beer was ready or something like that.
So you picked up the Marsh Island before you even went to the thing?
That's correct.
Did you like that beer when you had it, and thus you're happy with it right now?
I'm very happy with it. They had three choices.
Obviously, you probably wouldn't have opened it if you hated it.
Yeah, this was a rotating hop session IPA with Meridian. They also had there was 3 beers. He had an IPA that was pretty good too.
Cool.
I think the one brewery that probably stood out the most was Orono Brewing with their IPA. They used some of the popular hops, Amarillo. Actually, I could tell you one second.
The ABCs, the Amarillos, the.
It was a pretty good. I took a picture of what their menu was.
And you saw Carla there?
I did. I saw Carla. I saw Kai. I saw Ben Watts.
That's cool.
No, sorry, I didn't see Ben Watts.
I saw
Ben Moore.
I mean, I confuse those guys. They're 2 of the classiest dudes in the beer world.
Mike Charity was there.
Oh, nice.
Along with both main brew buses. There was dueling buses.
Yes.
So the IPA, it was a double IPA called Ozone Squared, which featured Mosaic, Topaz, and Amarillo in the Whirlpool, with Mosaic, Galaxy, and Amarillo in the dry hop, using a Chico American ale yeast.
All right.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah, that's cool. And now, did each of these breweries? So, how much time did you have at each brewery? Because I remember last year how it was. There was more than 2 times the amount of breweries, but it was like a certain amount of time at each place. Was that how it was, or no?
Yeah, it was a certain amount of time at each place. It was 15, 16 people per group. So you just divide 5 into 2 hours, and that's what you get. It kind of felt like a long time.
Nice.
But it was good. It was good. Just great to get some questions in. The smallest one seemed to be like Lubec Brewing. I think he's like a 1-barrel system, and he brews upwards of 3 barrels in a week.
And that's draft only.
That's draft only. Yep.
Yeah. Which is, I like the fact that New Hampshire's kind of that way, where there's a lot of breweries spread out. But man, in Maine, you got to have a following if you're in like middle of nowhere, right? I mean, that's
all of these breweries were north of Portland at the event. And then last year wasn't the first year that they did this event. Didn't it have Bissell, Austin Street, Foundation, Bandit Horn? Weren't they like some of these? Those are some of the breweries that were there for when you were at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but just there was a lot, and so and then my other point is, if there's any more, they're going to come from those same places next year. But I don't know if this year means we're having a slowdown of breweries in Maine, because the year before was such a crazy, like, look at the breweries now. They're a lot of them are in the same places, but it's just such they're way bigger now.
But still like 5 a year.
That's so because what does Maine have, 60 now, or they're close to it? They have to be close to it. But yeah, it's.
Well, New Hampshire has about 52.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean,
52. Not how many are active though? I'm not going to
well,
say.
I mean, it's
I would
hard
say,
to say. Like,
I would
I
say
mean,
40.
I wouldn't think that Lubeck is active, but because
What are you talking about? You
no,
can visit their brewery.
well, yeah, no, I think there's a lot of these breweries that you can
Right.
out of the 52.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was just saying that Maine. Yeah. So Maine is probably having what they consider a slowdown, but for us, it's kind of we get to catch our breath and kind of see what else is out there, or see what else is in Maine.
Yeah.
But I mean, my point is it's tough for those small breweries to stay up if I don't know what the population in Lubeck is, but and I don't know Carla, who's in Portland, or around Portland, was trying to plan a day trip up there, so it sounds like a haul. Maybe we should talk to them. Maybe we should get them on the show.
Yeah.
But do they get Wi-Fi out there, or do they get internet up there? This is a real question. Do you have any do you have any picks to click? Any things you liked that stood out?
Well, I think the ozone was probably the one of the most. It seemed to be that a lot of people were familiar with Squaretail.
Because of Squaretail Stout from Moat Mountain. Just tossing it out.
No.
Yeah. No.
That was I think that out of the one that everyone seemed to be known the most.
Cool. And then so you're right. It was at the coffee place. What is it called?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, it's at Dunkin' Donuts. I forgot the place.
It's not Portland Coffee Roasters. It's not
yeah. So it was at a coffee roaster, and I forget. I'm sorry, I blanked the name because it's a great place, but it's right next to Maine.
Coffee by Design.
Coffee by Design, CFD. So it's very close to Bunker, very close to Rising Tide, and very close to Maine Distilling. So did you get down?
I rolled over into Rising Tide right after that, and I tried a couple beers. Cool. There was a pretty good crowd there at the time.
Nice.
They had, let's see here.
They had
a beer called Local Tide 1, which had potatoes in it. Or used some Maine potatoes, which was interesting.
Maine potatoes, all right.
But I also had Auto Helm.
What is that?
I don't know if you've heard of that one yet. Auto Helm is... So this is an American red, but I'll get that answer for you.
That's cool. But I did see a tweet, I think it was a couple days ago, that Rising Tide is putting the Calcutta Cutter in cans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty awesome because that beer is fantastic.
Sure is.
So 7-Eleven, get it. Shout out.
Get that.
Yeah, that's not yet, but New Hampshire will have some on draft soon.
Wasn't there a time where they had Ishmael on draft here?
They still do. There's still some Ishmael.
Oh, but you're saying Calcutta.
Yeah, just Calcutta.
I'll go to Blackbirch for it. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Wherever it's on tap, I'll get to it. So let's move to BM. What's happened the past couple weeks with you? Any beer things? Do anything at Earth Eagle or anything?
Yes. No, we had a great time debuting Let's Talk Beer at a new venue. We did it at Earth Eagle, and it was awesome. They were very excited to have us there. Great receptive crowd. Most first-timers, but people that came out to see the show. Obviously, everybody's a little bit hesitant when you try to pull them up on stage, as it were. Yes. But it was a good, fun crowd, and people seemed to be really into it. So we're looking forward to doing that a little bit more, probably monthly at the old Double E. And they're great hosts anyway.
Totally. I mean, and it's nice to be rocking a chalice of beer during the whole thing.
Yes.
Pretty cool. And for those that are Mug Club members, they ditched the numbers on the mugs, and now it's just blank. So good stuff. You still get a chalice.
What did you say? How big was the crowd?
Oh,
in the hundreds.
Yeah, about 1,000 people.
No, I mean
I'm surprised that they fit in that 35-person maximum capacity.
There wasn't a lot of empty room in there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you gauge how many people were there, but
yeah. There's one person.
Most of the seats filled.
Yeah, cool. I mean, and so for those that are listening, the strategy behind this, and we'll give you a little inside baseball because you listen to the SBL podcast, the best beer podcast in the world. the strategy behind this is getting people to come to a brewery on a Tuesday. So get there, because Thursday and Friday and Saturday aren't just the party nights, and we're trying to change that little mentality. So get in there.
That's right. Also want to give a quick shout out to my old friend from Vermont, Scott Kerner, who opened Three Penny Tap Room. Recently started a new venture called Carrier Roasting, a coffee roasting company.
Nice.
And they just dropped their first collaboration with Lawson's. Obviously a coffee
infused beer.
Wow.
Yeah, it just landed this week, I think, in select Vermont markets. So eat that if you're up in the Green Mountain State.
Sweet. Anything else going on? Have you tried any new beers lately? I mean, obviously you're dipping into the burb, but
yeah, just because the fridge was running thin tonight. I'm gonna check my Untapped real quick.
Check it.
While you're checking, I looked it up. It's called Lawson's X Carrier.
Yes.
Whoa.
Is the name of the beer, and
That's a cool name.
Low alcohol, dark British pub style ale.
Okay.
Also referred to as a English dark mild ale.
Cool stuff. Well,
I'm looking through here, and I did remember that I just started a new job that is equidistant from Seventh Settlement in Dover and Garrison City Brewing Company. It's like,
Are you working in the parking lot?
yeah,
parking cars.
I'm selling nachos in the parking lot.
That's him in there.
So most of my recent check-ins have either been at 7th or at Garrison City.
Yeah.
Nice. That's my one-up of the podcast tonight.
Yeah, we tried the award. Well, tried it, but had it before. But the now gold medal winning 1623 Brown Ale from the GABF from 7th Settlement. So that's pretty badass. They got that proudly displayed. You walk in there and it's like the sun is blinding you, but it's the gold from the medal that that warriors fought and died for. But
I gotta tell you that they've had it on the last couple times I've been there. Their Hell's Bach is pretty awesome.
Nice. I haven't had a Bach in a while. Man, that's a throwback name. Not a throwback name, but it's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Throwback makes one?
Throwback doesn't make a Bach, do they? Nah, not on my watch.
They might have. They might have.
Maybe they have. We'll have to come on the show for the third time to see what's going on here. Last week was a good beer week. Again, we did the Let's Talk Beer thing, rock the house. The Deciduous had a big bottle release on a Thursday. Which, first of all, thank you for having a bottle release on a Thursday afternoon, especially close to my house. It definitely didn't sell out. I'm not even sure. I'm sure there's bottles still available, but I'm not sure how the weekend went with them. But I went on a Thursday to get their bottle. Of name I forgot, but it was a Brett Russian Imperial Stout. It was a 750 ml bottle. I picked a couple up on Thursday, and I also a growler of their Jacko pumpkin. It's a Halloween. It's a pumpkin Berliner, which those two. If you say both those things to me, I say I don't like either of those because don't like pumpkin beers, don't like Berliners yet. But that had a good. It was a nice cross between the both, and I actually liked it. It wasn't sweet. It was kind of like that vegetal pumpkin thing going on there, where it's not the cardamom.
Not the pumpkin spice. No.
Yeah.
No ginger and.
It was super good. I'm sure it's still on now because it just went on last week, so you can get growlers and stuff. And now when we first went there, my wife and I, when they opened, I want to say a month and a half ago or so, they only had 4 beers on tap. I believe they have 8 on tap now.
Wow.
So you can go there and get growlers and tasters of them all. They also have hats and other things to sell. But congrats to them for the bottle. Haven't tasted it yet, and I'm also waiting for my dad to review it because I gave a bottle to him. He's a Rick Brews on Twitter, big Imperial Stout fan, not the biggest Brett fan. So I don't even know. I haven't read the tasting notes from anywhere. So I don't know.
Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't, and it's not even in my fridge. So I was gonna break it out, but I know my wife doesn't like Imperial Stout. So it'd be just me with 750. So that wouldn't turn into a great podcast for sure.
Sounds like lunchtime to me.
Yeah. It's just chugging. I put a straw in it and yell at people. But I stopped over to Stoneface the day after for just to say hey, but I picked up a bottle of their Mosacalypse. So I drank that while yelling at trick-or-treaters as they crossed my lawn. Did that. Have you guys ever seen The Purge? Any of the Purge movies?
Second one.
Man, great movies.
Hmm.
Even if you don't like horror, Sean, get in there and watch those.
I haven't seen them.
It makes you question, like, what would actually happen if we just, like, if there was a law that says between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. you can kill whoever you want.
That movie. Yeah.
Yes.
That doesn't really interest me.
Well, I'm sure it will once you watch it, because then it'd be locking up your house. No, but yeah. So I had that beer, and then this past weekend went to the Portsmouth Halloween parade. Good stuff, packed as usual. We got a good standing spot right at Market Square to watch the Thriller dancers. Stopped over Earth Eagle because they had the Gangsta on, New England Gangsta, top rated West Coast IPA in the world. I'll say it. It'll get there, and it was tasty. And I believe, was it that? Did we miss it? Yeah, yesterday was Sausage Fest. So I want to know how that went at Earth Eagle. I will get a report.
Were you guys in costume?
No, we were not in costume. In fact, I believe I was the only one of my friends who wasn't in costume at all this Halloween. I was dressed as a beer-loving podcaster, as I am every day. But I did see your costume, Sean, and if you want to post that in the show notes, put a link to Amber's Instagram, because that's scary as hell.
That was
Chewbacca?
That was Saturday night. Yeah, it was Chewbacca. Went out to the Faneuil Hall area on Friday night.
Nice. God, man, you're making the rounds. And then last but not least, I want to give a quick shout out as I can give a shout out to these guys every day if I had a podcast to talk about it. North Country Hard Cider. We stopped over there on Saturday. This was before the parade, and boy, never a bad time at North Country. Ben knows what I'm talking about. North Country Hard Cider. Not familiar, yeah. But they had 8 ciders on tap. Yeah, so it was awesome because six. Because my wife had 4, because you can either get 4, 5, or 6. So I had 6, and it was awesome. Their Fire Starter cider is excellent. They have a blueberry cider, and none of these are super sweet.
Did they have any more of that darkened cidery?
They had a fresh darkened cidery, which it looked like a latte because the fresh pressed ginger was still coming through like the top, so like they didn't pour it all out. So I got the first like pull of it, and it was just like it looked like chocolate milk because it was so like the ginger was so fresh.
That's heavenly.
But yeah, it is there as well as the Bitter Brothers, and they also had a new one called Branch Breaker, which I believe was just made from big ass apples. So awesome job to those guys, because man, if you're even questioning the cider game right now, get up there, because thinking cider is too sweet is kind of now a high level look. You have to get
Let's get them on the show.
Drive over there, take your laptop, go mobile, and just barge in there.
It's a desktop, but here we go.
How many Brian? How many ciders did they have on draft?
They had six on draft. 6. You can get growlers of any one of them, and but they do have 4-pack bottles of their original press that you can take to go, and I believe very limited accounts. I want to say I saw a bottle, or
I've seen it at
craft beer cellar. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, you can get bottles. I think out in stores, but draft you can definitely get at a lot of places. I know last week Earth Eagle had the Fire Starter on. They have the original press now, as well as Portsmouth Brewery has some of them on. But yeah, it's tasty treats for sure. And I want to say last but not least, I got the Lord Hobo thing going on. What am I missing? Probably nothing. I'll get to one event going on this weekend when we get to that part. But anything else, Shano, before we get into some events coming up?
Yeah. In addition to refreshment orientation and RSVP bookers, I did have lunch at Great Lost Bear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I know later in the evening they were preparing for a Rising Tide Tap Takeover. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join then. After the session later, we had stopped into Liquid Riot for a Liquid Riot Tap Takeover of all Liquid Riot beers, and I guess they had some stuff that were like, hey, we only did like 1 keg of this dry hopped with this, and then 1 keg of that dry hopped with this, and so it was kind of cool to try to try some of the different beers that well, you may not get Liquid Riot anyways, but that were just rarer beers that they had on for that evening.
I still can't get Liquid Riot. That still doesn't click to me that it was once Infinity.
I know. I have
for some reason I read it and it doesn't spring that it was the place that we've been before, but that's just me.
Yeah, I always try to the thing we were walking over there and we were like, oh, Liquid Riot used to be called what? And then we're like,
yeah, well, Infinity. I think Infinity's gone now in Burlington.
Yes.
By the way, Carla is drinking 16 counties and just unlocked the Pucker Up badge level 22. So I'm looking over at my tweets, and that's what happened. Thanks, Carla, for checking in on Untapped. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
In just going back to the going out to Boston.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised at how many places have a very boring craft beer list.
Go on.
I mean, we're in the Faneuil Hall area, so when you start bouncing around, I don't know if anything rings a bell to you of like, what's the one spot to go to for craft beer in the Faneuil Hall area?
In Faneuil Hall, I'd walk over to, but it's not in Faneuil Hall. It's right sort of by it.
Yeah, it's a Kinsdale.
No.
That's
keep talking.
Usually,
no, true.
That usually is a pretty good selection. The other side of the center.
I'm going to give you a name in a second, but keep talking.
But my point was I couldn't think of one, so we just went to a couple different bars, and the selection was what you could. It just you could tell that it wasn't.
Tip Tap
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't based on like they're in a vortex where craft beer is all around them.
Yeah.
And they're still just.
But that's the thing, though. So yes, are you saying that there's not a lot of local beer? Or are you saying there's not a lot of craft beer selection?
Both.
Because yes, so take Portland for example. We're talking about it. It's you can go to any now. It used to, and this is no bash on Navarre Res. Navarre used to be the only place to get a certain, like, you go there for the main beers and Austin beer at the same time. Now every place in Portland has main beer. So maybe Boston needs to take a lesson and say, we can't just let these all great places, the Tip Tap Rooms, the what was it, the oh my god, the I was gonna say Jacob Boris, but that's not what I'm thinking of. I always miss it. But anyway, yeah, we need to have more. Is it a distributor thing that's happening? Are they scared about the pay to play thing? What's happening here, Sean?
I have no idea. I don't operate in that market.
I know, but your mind operates. So I'm trying to think of what.
My mind was surprised at the selection.
What was on tap? Just give me an example if you could of
the craftiest options were, and it's no offense to them, but Sam Adams and Harpoon.
So that's what I was going to ask.
Which is the big guys.
Yeah, I was going to say if it's a Sam and Harpoon love fest, and that's kind of lame.
I have no problem with either of them. I would just expect that some of the places would have a wider variety of offerings in addition to those being on tap.
Yeah, see, I guess my ideal Boston bar would have Backlash, Trillium, Slum Brew, obviously a Sam Adams, but I don't know if we have a bar that's like that just yet that has all the Boston things.
Oh, there's plenty of places.
I'm saying yeah.
It's like a good 10-minute walk from there.
But Faneuil Hall, it's like you'd be crazy. I mean, to not put a place there. But it's not how it works.
Is the Sunset Grill still a bar to be sought after, or
Norm always talks about it. Norm tweets about it all the time that it's one of his favorites, and
you're on the opposite side of the city.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Just for anyone listening that's not familiar, you're
in
taking like a 20-minute Uber ride.
I think people still talk. I think people still talk about it.
When going back to what you were saying before about Navarre being the only spot, it was 5-6 years ago, there was only a handful of places that you would go to in Boston, Sunset.
Yeah, Deep Ellum was in that list along with.
But that's interesting though. Is I wonder if Sunset, if they started losing business when these other bars started getting better beer, I don't know what the business model is at Navarre to say the same, but obviously Portland's is
I mean, it's funny.
walkable. It's walkable.
You go over the bridge into Cambridge, right, and you have like Lord Hobo and Mead Hall, Cambridge Brewing Company. What's the breakfast place? It's also in Portland. No, Portsmouth.
Oh, don't say Friendly Toast, but yeah, Friendly
Yeah,
Toast.
but so with the selection in Boston locations, it's a pretty diverse selection of beer.
Yeah.
Um,
But then again, you're only a drive away from night shift to get night shift, but it's tough to find. It's we're in a beer tourism time where if you want the beer, just go to the brewery and get it because it's fresh there and fresh is king right now. I keep seeing pictures of people that get these crazy hauls from Treehouse because it's fresh. I mean, it's awesome to find Treehouse on tap at a bar like in Worcester, Armsby Abbey, and other places like in Amherst. They have a couple places on tap. But yeah, beer bars are I hear you got to step it up.
Now, if someone wants to send us an email and complain about our selection or our knowledge or lack of knowledge of the beer selection at Faneuil Hall, go ahead and do so. It'll just really show that you're listening to the show.
Well,
But we only went to a handful of places, so it wasn't a really good sampling. But it was not what I was expecting.
Well, say someone came to you and said, Sean, I know you don't have a Boston blog, but what is your favorite? If you could list off a couple of your favorite beer bars in Boston, what would it be?
I like going to Cambridge Brewing Company. I have a fun time going there.
Okay.
I go to Jacob Breath's a lot actually.
It is a cool place, but man, sometimes it can get rowdy with people.
Yeah.
But I love the setting. German.
Starters isn't too far.
Love Stoddart's. Well played.
Yeah, that's not too far in distance there. One of the times I'm going out, if I'm going to go out in Boston now, it's because a brewery's doing an event at it, and that's kind of how I choose the destination at this point.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'd say I would toss. I haven't been to this one, but which is weird. So I know of it from its recently opened sister location. I would toss in Row 34 as a place that knows beer well.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a great place.
And also one that's in an area that doesn't have a lot of beer around it, besides Bukowski's, which I do. If I could frequent there, if I could just live there, it'd be awesome. But near Bukowski's is a place called the Salty Pig. I'm a huge fan of that. It's kind of a place you wouldn't know has great beer, but until you go in there and have a pizza and see that there's lunch on tap, it's like.
Oh my God, that's right. I went there at like 1 in.
It's like it's behind Copley Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like you just walk in there, you're like, what the hell? And
oh my God, we had poutine and like cans.
Yeah. Yes. Isn't that place awesome?
Yeah, I mean,
because we live north of the city, we kind of tend to go to places north of the city more often than not. Because it's so easy to get to and it's great food. Well, great small plates and beer. Often we go to American Fresh without going to Legoland because we have no kids. But
either way, you can get in there.
Can't get into Legoland without kids.
You can probably act a fool. Have you been to isn't there a what is that massive tap bar? Yard House. There's like a Yard House closer to us.
Linfield.
Yeah, have you been to that?
Oh yeah.
Is it worth checking it out?
Yeah, the selection there is you'll find a lot of stuff that you can't find other places.
That's cool.
That's really the benefit of it. It's like, they have all messed up things I've never had before.
We're jumping all over the map right now because I have questions and we don't have anything to talk about. But is the Thirsty Moose in Manchester open yet?
Possibly next week.
Cool. Because I'd asked a friend today, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know." But for those,
I've gone into the spot. It looks really cool.
It looks great. Yeah.
And it's on the same block as 815.
Okay.
Really close to across streets like New Orleans or Nolans.
Yeah. So for those we're not talking about Thirsty Moose, which is a chain that started in Portsmouth, is now in Dover and Manchester, New Hampshire. Basically a tap house, hundreds of taps, and luckily they do a good job of keeping the beers in good rotation.
One of the cool things they did for this location is that you walk in the door, or at least the door that I was going to, that in the keg cooler's right there, but they built glass into it so you can see kegs inside of it. So you can see like the whole system in there, and they made it a little bit bigger than what is in the Portsmouth location, so that they can keep all their kegs on one level.
Sweet. I will give one shout out, and then we can go to figure out some other things coming up. I did get an email from the lovely people over at Row 34, and it is in the bottom of my barrel. Like, where is it? Oh my gosh! Hang on.
Were they just listening to the show right now and sent you an email?
Oh, we're because you said glass. You said glass kegs, and Row 34 in Portsmouth has the whole glass that you can see right to the kegs. So, and that flipped me into I need to tell the story because it is pretty cool. So, Firestone Walker has a beer coming out called Velvet Merkin, 2015, and the Seacoast region is getting 1 barrel allocation, and it is going to Row 34. They're tapping it on the November 6th, which is this Friday. So if you're listening, and it's after that, my apologies. But they're selling it at Row 34 for $8 a glass. Only 24 bottles are being released in the Seacoast area, and Row 34 is thrilled, their quote, to be the only restaurant in the state to have a barrel.
I wonder if that's individual bottles or cases.
That's interesting.
Because
it can easily be messed up. I mean, that could be miswritten.
I know that Firestone, I believe that they've gone to 6 bottles per case. So they do.
Interesting move.
Yeah, it's there's a couple of the breweries that do it that way.
So 24 cases.
Allagash does that. Yeah.
Okay.
Allagash does that so that they can. The idea is it's kind of a couple different reasons for it. One, for a higher priced beer, you can sell it to an account, and that they don't have to A, pay too much for it, and B, be worried that they're sitting on an inventory item for a period of time that wouldn't sell as fast. So say it was like an everyday beer, and I don't even know this is right. Like say something like Allagash Interlude. It's easier for someone to buy 6, sell those 6, and buy another case if there's demand for, or buy 6, sell 4, and then have 2 on the shelf rather than sell 4 and then still looking to get rid of 8.
Yeah, and but by the looks of the email that I got, it sounded like there were bottles out there, but it sounded like they weren't even going to the stores. So I wonder if they are, or if they're going to be like places like the Gaslight. Again,
yeah, they might have just sold it to on-premise accounts only.
That's what I'm saying.
To restaurants and bars only.
On-premise. That's the term.
The industry term.
Yes, no, which is good. Sometimes I got to check myself, and that I talk out of my butt sometimes. So that's like, what's this word?
Here's the bigger question.
What do you got?
Do you know what a merkin is?
Mm-hmm.
I do not. What? Enlighten me, please.
Merkin is a pubic wig.
No way.
Yes, way.
Oh.
Okay, that's the name of the show, and
wig? Yeah.
Hyphen mind blown.
Yep, it's gonna be episode 126, pubic wig. We're burning this podcast to the ground tonight, and it's with that. No, that's awesome.
Yeah. Ben, would you mind explaining why there's the need for a merkin?
Well, typically I think they're used in performance art. So, like, when some actress is in a scene and they tell her it's a nude scene and she doesn't want to do it, and maybe this is something that they can do, or maybe it's a stage play and they need to accentuate the fact that somebody's nude, so they can do that.
Yeah.
That's So maybe I think with every bottle comes with a free wig.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. That's why there's so few.
Yeah.
There's so few.
You can wear it. You can wear it on your bald head if you want, Brian.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, what the? We're shutting this thing down right now. No. Yeah. So, but again, there's always a special place in the heart for Row 34. But I did get an email, so appreciate it, and I wanted to share the info with you guys that if you're looking for a draft, it's going to be in New Hampshire. It's going to be only at Row 34 in Portsmouth because apparently they know beer because of their brethren in Boston, which know beer very well, and Row 34 has kegs of Schilling, which is like, we don't even get that, and we're in the same state they brew. God bless those guys. Love Schilling. Anyway, let's get
Is that Row 34 Boston?
So the Row 34 I'm talking about, or yes, the Row 34 that gets Schilling is in Boston. Yeah.
I would guess is that only often or once?
Oh, it's not often. But it's not once. It's a couple times.
I bet it was originally around the ACBF.
Could have been. Because
So it's
I
like,
know they've been
yeah.
down there since, not to Road 34, but they've been other
Yeah.
like Public House, Brookline, and all that.
Oh wow.
Question from the Twitter coming in hot from Joey Burks at Joey Burks on Twitter. Then we'll get into closing stuff here. Have you guys been to Seven's Ale House in Boston? It's a little hole in the wall. House beer on tap is Harpoon Munich Dark.
Ooh.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of Munich Dark?
No, I never heard of Seven's. You asshole. Seven's Ale House. I'm looking it up. Oh,
Is there a town?
Facebook.com/Sevens Ale.
Yeah, so it just lists as Boston.
That's cool though.
Beacon Hill.
You're right. If it's a recommendation from fan of the show Joey Burks, that's all we need to know to check it out. So when I go down there.
And if this picture is right, I mean, they have. Maybe I was gonna say it looks like they had some hand pull casks, but maybe not.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of house beer, big fan of the Allagash house beer. Did you see for Halloween they had haunted house beer?
Yeah, did you try it?
No.
Or did you hear anything about it?
I saw some pictures of it. It just looked dark. I'm not sure what they were doing.
I know. It sucks that I missed it. Anyway.
I think I know where this is. It looks like it's. Well, I didn't look at a map, but it looks like it's over like. Not too far from like the government center area, but closer to the hospital. It's over there.
Okay. So
it's on Charles Street.
Oh, Charles Street.
Charles Street.
So we're gonna close it down. I have a couple things I want to talk about, but I'll close with them. Let's go to Sean. Anything coming up in the next week before the next podcast?
Well, there's still a million events at Portland Beer Week,
yes,
which you can find at portlandbeerweek.org. And it does go officially through Saturday, with an extra day on Sunday. In addition to that, let me just bring up my calendar. Don't know if people are all lined up for it, but Nerex North, as mentioned, it starts on the 12th.
Oh, right. I want to go.
Yes.
So that last week, too. I still want to
go. I love that event. I also believe that next Monday is the official night for the James Bond movie premiere.
Wait, what? Is this Thursday?
Oh, is it Thursday?
Yeah,
okay.
I got tickets.
On Saturday, actually.
That was an odd tossing, but I do appreciate the James Bond shout out.
Yeah, I just want to say that because I know that some people like to watch that. On Thursday, Thirsty Moose Dover is doing a barrel-aged night.
Good God, Dover, look out.
Yes, and on Saturday at Whole Foods in Nashua is Go Big or Go Home Day.
So was it this Thursday in Dover?
This Thursday, Dover. This Saturday in Nashua.
All right, so Ben, I'll see you at lunch.
Also within throwing distance away.
Yeah. Way too close. Oh, man. That's cool.
Just checking to make sure there isn't anything else that I missed.
Nice hat, by the way. Nice Rising Tide hat.
Thank you.
I try to give more visual descriptions now that our listeners might not be able to see it.
Oh, yes, because it's audio. Yeah, that's pretty much it of what's coming up.
Cool. BM, anything crapping? Any beers you're looking forward to getting?
Couple of cool things. Let's see. Next Thursday, Let's Talk Beer presents the second annual. Nope. The 16-bit challenge. So get your thumbs exercised out. Get ready for some classic video games.
Where are you going to be hosting that?
Down at Levin in Somersworth.
And we'll be able to announce one game right now. Just one game. We'll toss it out as a little teaser. Hit it, Ben. What do we got? What's one game we're trying out this time?
Let me put it this way. He's heating up.
He's on fire.
It's NBA Jam.
Drink beer, play NBA Jam.
That's exclusive. That's exclusive right here on the SBLPodcast.
I have goosebumps now.
And then coming up, we were talking about before the show started, but on Monday, November 16th, is the Thistle Pig and Barreled Souls beer dinner. Don't sleep on this.
Brought to you live by the SBLPodcast.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
we're broadcasting live. We went to the Rocky Coast dinner, and the beer was great. It was nice. Like Rocky Coast is a place that I don't think I had been there before. But it was good to like really interact with the brewers on a much more intimate level than a lot of the beer dinners that I've been to. Plus, the Thistle Pig food is otherworldly.
It absolutely is.
It is unbelievable.
Faux show.
So,
Totally is.
I would definitely say, like, even if you think Barreled Souls is the worst brewery in the world, which I would disagree with you, but go there for the food alone, because they pull out all the stops. Like on a regular night, it's outstanding food, but when they pull out all the stops when it's beer dinner, and it's
So, Ben, if someone wanted to sign up for this beer dinner, where would they go?
sure you can just you can go to thistlepig.com and see that on there they want you to call the phone number.
That's for sure. Yep.
Which is 207, and they don't list it any. 207-704-0642. They said that they are closing down the restaurant for normal diners, so the entire place is going to be just for the beer dinner.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of a cool thing.
Very cool.
But that's in. I didn't even mention it. It's in South Berwick.
Okay, South Berwick. Okay.
And that's another thing that people have been surprised that they didn't know about. I think in one of the Facebook groups, I can't remember which one, the owner Jen had posted their tap list, and people were kind of shocked, like, "Whoa, I didn't even realize you guys had such great beer." 6 taps, but always really, really good stuff. And the owner Ben, the chef and owner Ben, came from When Pigs Fly, so already like a real great connection with a lot of like the tributary and the beer scene around there. So they're sort of first on the list to get some of these things when they come out. They had the some Earth Eagle collaboration that not a lot of people had.
Good call.
I didn't even try that one. I didn't even hear about it.
That's my click to pick.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say when I was there Saturday, they had Deciduous Goes, they had Tributary Pumpkin. That's some good stuff. I opted for the Bloody Mary because when there, you got to try the hot pepper vodka because it's so tasty. Anyway, I have 2 things I want to talk about. First off, this weekend is the Hop Talks from Hophead United. It's at Red Hook on Sunday, November 8th from 4 to 8. Hop Talks basically, Sean and I have talked a bunch about this thing called speed blogging at our beer bloggers conferences, where a bunch of people sit at a table and then the brewers come to you and talk about the brewery and such. Well, at Hop Talks here in Red Hook, very similar. There's going to be up in their nice beer hall upstairs at Red Hook. There's going to be tables of people to sit. There's also going to be 8 craft breweries, and they're going to be going around from table to table telling their story, as well as a presentation to back up the whole thing. And it's actually being emceed by another awesome local beer podcast, the Tap Handle Show. So Mike will be emceeing that for the evening. The breweries that will be there, of course, Red Hook, because it's there, and because they're awesome beer. Don't kid yourself. Smutty Nose, Portsmouth Brewery, Barra Irish Brewing, winner of the Shark 105.3 Best Brewery of the Seacoast. Great Rhythm, Abel Ebenezer. So if you guys, that's a pick to click right there because they don't come up here often. Throwback and Stoneface are going to be there. So I would say check it out. Tickets are, you can find, if you search the Hop Talks, the thing's on Eventbrite. Or
go to Hophead United.
Hophead United, yes. The golden ticket is $65. So get them while they last. Again, it's Sunday, November 8th from 4 to 8, which I do applaud. That's a good time. That's a good time to have something. Just kind of a nice relaxing afternoon into evening Sunday. I dig. Yeah. So and it's supposed to be an intimate night. So nothing like a big like full beer fest. So tickets are indeed limited. And it comes with 16 6-ounce samples, which turns into a total of 6 pints.
And if anyone's worried, the Patriots will be playing the Redskins at 1 o'clock on Sunday, November 8th.
Okay, there you go. I mean, hell,
So,
you can go pregame by watching.
Go watch the game at Red Hook. Go upstairs. Wow.
And there's so you get the beer, you get there's some, and also food from Red Hook as well is included, appetizer style. So it seems like a pretty cool event, and I might do the click. I might get it. But that's only if I can recover from the night before. So my big thing is, if you're reading the blog secretsbeveragelab.com, I am doing the Extra Life fundraiser this year. A lot of people don't know what that is. Extra Life raises money for the Children's Miracle Network of hospitals, and by way of playing video games for 24 hours. So starting at 7 a.m. on Saturday, I will be playing video games live on my Twitch channel, which you can find out on my website, secretsbeveragelab.com. I'll be playing video games live for everyone to watch from 7 a.m. Saturday to 7 a.m. Sunday, raising money. So my link is again on the website. We are already at $100 raised, which is fucking crazy. So spread the word. I don't expect anyone to donate, but I expect you to watch if you have nothing to do. I know Arcadia has already given me the word that they're going to put me on the TV when they open up on Saturday, so people can watch it out. Watch it there.
Can you? No, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Have you done this before?
That's what she said. What?
Have you done an adventure like this before?
I've never streamed. So the longest I've ever played live for was 12 hours. Okay. And that was probably from noon to midnight. So I don't know what it's gonna be like from the hours of. I don't know what it's gonna be like from the hours of midnight to 7 a.m. I know I can be fine from 7 a.m. to midnight. No big deal.
So what's your game? Do you mind sharing your game plan, or is that a trade secret?
Nope, trade secret. No. So the game plan is pretty simple. I have a list of games that I'm going to be playing right now. So I'm gonna be playing up here, but what you don't see behind my monitors is a couch and table. So I'll be turning everything around and playing on my couch instead of sitting up in an office chair for 24 hours. And again, 24 hours is the set time, but that does also include your standard bathroom breaks and dog walkings and such. But I don't have a schedule of what I'm going to play. I do know that I'm going to be playing some of the latest games, like Mario Maker. If you guys have ever seen that, it's when you literally make your own Mario level. It's a pretty badass game. Rocket League, I've played a bunch on my Twitch channel before. It's basically soccer with RC racing cars. I also got the new Guitar Hero game last week, so I'll be jamming out on that, and a bunch of other stuff just to kind of pass the time. So maybe like 2 hours a game.
Any special guests?
I was just about the same thing.
Ben Watts of Secrets Beverage Lab and Let's Talk Beer fame might be showing up to play a horror walkthrough of Until Dawn, and maybe a bomb defusing game, which will include some beer. So
now it's kind of surprising that, I mean, you could have had new people come over for every 2 hours throughout the night.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Someone shows up at like. You're scheduled to show up between 2 and 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of friends that game, so like my friends that play video games are very, very limited. So my beer world and my game world don't necessarily mesh. That's kind of my mission with my Twitch channel anyway, is to play games. But this is also, a lot of this is playing games online with other people anyway. So you'll be hearing them through the stream, but they just won't be next to me. We'll be kind of going it together. But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, to kind of sweeten the pot, I'll be giving away some books throughout the night, throughout the day, New Hampshire beer, for when we hit specific goals of the donation thing. So again, the link is there. Wish me luck. I'm going to need some good Powerade and beer towards the night, some stuff to kind of pull me through it. But it's gonna be.
You should when you go to the store, look for every coffee-infused beer that's out there.
That's true. And I will be taking suggestions throughout the week, because on Friday I am taking a trip down to Craft Beer Cellar and Redstone in Mass to pick up some supplies for Saturday. And we'll see what happens, because there's if Ben can make it, we're gonna be doing a pretty cool game that involves literally a bomb manual, and we're gonna try to tell each other how to defuse it without us knowing what we're looking at. So it's a pretty fun game, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So 24 hours. I'm an idiot, but I'm raising money for it. So if you can spread the link, check it out.
It's Extra Life.
Yeah, so it's extra-life.org, but you can just easily. I'll be posting links throughout my Twitter throughout the week, and then it's on my Facebook and secretsbeveragelab.com.
What's your player name so people can search for you?
My Twitch name is robust_porter, which is a shout out to the robust porter of Sweaty Nose fame. So I've been only doing Twitch for about a year, just literally very casually, and it's super fun to do because I like people to see my reactions to some weird games in this world, but it's gotta be good times. So, and Guitar Hero is badass as well. I don't know. So Sean, maybe.
So Brian, I have. Yeah, maybe I don't know if I'm invited. I might stop.
No. I was gonna say maybe you can watch. I don't want you to come over to my house. Get out of here with that.
Someone's got to keep you up, keep you awake.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sean, did you have anything else before we close her out?
Yeah, I was just checking an email. I saw that on Saturday, November 7th, which is a Saturday, is the Slum Brews Yankee Swap bottle release day.
Ooh, I like the Yankee Swap. I'm a fan.
Yes.
Nice.
So
add that to the show notes.
Exactly.
And yeah, so again, for those that are listening to the show, we're doing a whole new show notes. You can find the link to the show notes actually in the podcast summary, so it's right there. But we're doing it all through Google Docs, so we can kind of live edit and live post to these show notes as we talk. Because there's so many times where Sean, Carla, and Ben and I are like, oh, well, we'll add this, and then it's just not added to the notes. But now we can add it like as we're talking about it. So good stuff. Slum Brew. I gotta get over to American Fresh and the new Slum Brew for Pete's sake. So this is crazy. So much beer, so little time.
Definitely.
But I guess we're gonna end it there. I appreciate you guys coming on the show to talk about this while everyone else is out salivating and binging over Portland Beer Week. But Ben and Sean, as per usual, my boys, thank you for coming on the show. And thanks, guys, for watching and listening. And we'll raise a can to you and say cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.